one of the other aspects of emotional intelligence, and also for people also need to be aware
Mm,
what triggers you emotionally.
mm,
What are some things that can get you really upset, that can get you really angry, that
mm,
can make you really anxious, whatever it might be. And the competency that we talk about here within emotional intelligence is called self-regulation. And the recommendation I always like to make to people when we're talking about this, when someone is emotional, and I don't want to fire off an emotional, inappropriate response that can damage a relationship or that can really cause a lot of harm.
mhm,
What I need to do when I'm really emotional is PRD it, just the acronym PRD. I
mhm.
need to pause, I need to reflect, and then I need to decide what I'm going to do.
Mm,
When I pause and I reflect, there's brain physiology involved here that we don't have time to get into. And again, talking about, I'm not an expert on this, I do
yeah.
know something about it. When you pause and reflect when you're emotional, it allows your brain to get into more of the cerebral area, which is where we actually think, rather than being in the emotional part of the brain.
Mm,
You pause, you reflect. Sometimes it's necessary, sometimes it's appropriate to respond on the spot,
yeah.
and that's okay. Still, by having paused and having reflected, there will be
Exactly.
some logic attached to your answer. The emotions will not have completely gone away. They never completely go away.
No.
Still, in all, they will have abated some. Another option that I like, and this is my preference, whenever it's possible and or appropriate, I'm going to pause, I'm going to reflect. Can we talk about this another time? I'm emotional right now. You're emotional right now. Can we talk about this
Mm.
another time? An example for me, Samuel, and this just popped into my head. This is a personal one. I hope you don't mind.
No, no, sure, go
Uh,
ahead.
my mother-in-law was very, very, very ill, and we knew she was near the end. And my wife and I needed to make the decision. She was at home with us, and we had lived with her our entire marriage, so we all knew each other very well. We were hoping to be able to keep her at home. We weren't sure we could, and we had made arrangements with a local nursing home that if we need to take her there, we will. I had been working in Manhattan all day. I had a really long day. Got home, I was very tired, and my wife said to me, "We need to talk about mom. We need to figure out what are we going to do with her." And I gave her my thoughts, and she reacted very, very emotionally, very strongly. I know what you want. You just want to stick her in the nursing home and be done with this. You don't love her, which was the furthest thing from the truth.
Mhm.
And I'm realizing it's like, all right, Ron, all right, pause, reflect. And my answer to her, Lori, clearly you're emotional about this. I get it. I absolutely get it. We need to make some big decisions here. I have had a very, very long day, and I'm really tired right now. Maybe this isn't the best time to talk about this. Can we sleep on it and can we talk about it tomorrow morning? Okay, let's do that. I was in Manhattan again the next day, so I got to the city really early. I called my wife and I was like, hi, Laura, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, I think I'm changing my mind, Larry. I think I'm changing my mind. Maybe we could keep her at home. Maybe we can do this. And she responded, Ron, I'm changing my mind. I think we should probably put her in the nursing home. And we ended up having a good
Conversation.
conversation. And that's the point here. We talked it through and we did the next right thing. We did end up putting her in the nursing home to pull the story through. That's neither here nor there. The point is, pausing and reflecting the night before allowed both of us.
Think.
Let's take a step back. Let's let the emotions settle down a little bit. Let's talk about this calmly and rationally tomorrow. And that's what happened, and that's how these things work. That is just how these things work. I could give you example after example of this, both from my own life and from observations from other people.
Good, good. That was a profound point that you brought up. You see, many times we always, I mean, it's a human thing. When someone hurt you, when someone say things you don't like, you want to react right away. You want to blow up. There are many times myself too that someone could just act one way or the other, and my brain is like, what is it saying or what is she saying and stuff like that. But the idea of pausing, reflecting, and then making decision helps you to think through what you're about to say and help you to consider how is this going to be perceived by the other person? Will it sit well, or is it going to actually lead to like a time bomb, nuclear
Exactly.
reactor? So it allows you to actually reflect on your decision you're about to make. And I feel like it aligns perfectly with the law of responding rather than reacting. Because they
Yep.
usually say you can spend 20 years building your character, but you can screw it over in just 1 second when you
That's right.
react instead of responding. So that is very profound. And it made me, especially the example you gave regarding the interaction between you and your wife, it gives it a more practical example of how to solve problems because you both could have went on and just yelling at each other and having more and more conversation in anger, and everything just stemmed from emotions. The logical mind is completely short circuited at that point. It's just the emotion that is blowing over and blowing over.